Hey, folks. My name is Judd, he, him, and welcome to the actual play Twitch stream, Stars Without Number. What is it? Envoys of Sector Alice Theta. It's been a while. So
it has.
Yeah, that's the thing with every other week is that you miss one and then you miss two and then it's been a month or two. So that's fine. It's the way it shakes out. Life is complicated. Yeah. And welcome to actual play. If all of the subscription and other money that can be accrued through Twitch streams will be given to contributed to Black Lives Matter and the Trans Legal Defense Fund. And I think that's about all I have to say for that at the moment. We are at the tail end of a very busy week on the channel. This is the 6th of 7 days in a row. And tomorrow will be another game that I will have the details of when we come back from the break, because I don't have it offhand. But I'll have it for you later, so stick around. And I am here with Misha and Jay to finish up our Stars Without Number kind of 3-game sprint. And Jay, you ready? How are you doing? Want to introduce yourself?
I'm good. I'm Jay, Mad Jay on Twitter. Pronouns are he, him. And it's been a busy, good week. I've been trying to get a game in or a session in every week. I failed Thursday. Got into a little car accident, and that threw my schedule off. No one got hurt. Everything's cool.
Another one?
Yeah, you know what?
Bad car luck.
My record has been immaculate until like the past 2 months. I've gone through 2 new cars in 2 months. Yes, and they're both wrecked. Right, one was parked. I wasn't even in it. Drunk driver hits it. Right. This one, I'm at a red light. I'm sitting at a red light. It's just me and the dog in the car. Right, and I hear this whine, and I look down at the dog because I'm like, "Are you whining?" And she looks up at me, and I'm like, "No, that's a car, and we're about to get hit." Right?
Right.
And it did. It hit us right in the back.
Oh, pumpkin.
I'm sorry.
I'm like, I think folks might have forgotten how to drive a little bit, staying at home and all that good stuff, right? Maybe I should stay at home. And no, it's been good for games this week. So I've gotten a lot of gaming in this week. So, and I'm happy to be here tonight to see what we're gonna do. I have no idea, but I'm excited.
Yeah, awesome. Misha, how are you doing? You want to introduce yourself and say what you've been up to or anything?
Misha B, she, they. It's been an interesting month. My parents were here for a month, unexpectedly. They were supposed to be here for a week, but they got in a car accident with an uninsured motorist. And they were fine, but their car was not. So they were here for a month instead of a week. A little different. But they're gone now, and everybody's happy, and everybody's home where they belong.
Good.
I have my office back, which is a big deal. So I got to finish up some stuff. Like the big thing this week is we finally dropped the PDF of Arun, which is a game we've been working on for like 3 years now. So that is up. You can find it on DriveThruRPG.
The link is in the chat.
Awesome. And yeah, that's my big news of the week.
Cool. Well, yeah. All right, that's my neighbor who's being so loud. Got it. Okay. Please.
Occasionally I can hear mine like playing video games to the wall, which is very weird when you're like sitting there in the living room. It's like, what is that? Oh, they're playing that game again. Okay.
Yeah. It's a lot. It's that time of year. So awesome. Yeah, what are we gonna do? That is a great question. So last game we kind of uncovered, so let's just go back all the way. Your characters are envoys from the Terran Mandate. We fiddled around with the history of the Terran Mandate and made them much more of a benign organization. because we wanted to stick to our Star Trek Discovery inspiration roots. And as such, and we just didn't want to be pawns of a shitty imperialistic colonial, mess. So we basically your characters got sent to this sector of space that hasn't seen any representation from old Earth in quite a while, and you were told to kind of assess the sector, make diplomatic inroads where you could, if you could, and just kind of try to figure out how you would be making recontact with these organizations. You were put into an orbit around a small doomed planet that seemed to have had an apocalypse a few decades earlier. You brought some refugees onto your station who had been taken in by some kind of psychic force and put into like a hive mind. So they kind of broke free. You helped them break free of that, and then welcomed them onto the ship. And then the game after that, we got into some alien artifacts. And what you found is that the alien artifacts exhibit some sort of radiation, for lack of a better word, that insinuate themselves into your timeline. So, you can grab some kind of little trinket or something. And when you look at old pictures of yourself, the trinket will be on your desk. And you both did something kind of cool where the trinket was kind of insinuating itself into your data. And I don't remember who did it, but one of you rebooted the computer to a previous install. And so it was the installation before the artifact had gotten on the ship. And so it kind of cleansed the artifact from your records. And so it didn't like dig into everyone's memory and just kind of burrow itself like a tick into your timeline. And so what we've figured is that we've got some kind of alien species that left a bunch of artifacts here, in this sector of space, who experience time in a very different way than humans do. So that's cool. I would love to take some time at the end of this just to talk about Stars Without Number and making a sector and what I did right and what I did not so right in the prep for this, because I definitely made some mistakes that I would change for next time, especially for a 3-session run. So this time I think we are, I want you to kind of reintroduce your characters, maybe talk about what kind of research you want to have been doing on the alien artifacts before the klaxons sound, and we find that these aliens are trying to kind of insinuate themselves in a military way into this timeline, and kind of what does a species that experiences time differently, how do they make war and how do they take over a spot? And I think that'll be kind of interesting, and I think it'll be a neat thing. So, and how do you react to it? And I know you all know this, but I'll say this just for anyone who happens to be watching. I have no idea how to solve these problems. And I don't know. It's the third of 3 sessions. Why go small? I think if we were going to be playing this game for a year, I might like slowly unveil a couple of planets at a time. And then, at the end of our whatever game, Skady 8th game, the aliens might have attacked or might not. But in the third of 3 sessions, let's just do it. I think they show up, but before that, it's like those shows that start with like klaxons and oh my god, they're invading and holy cow, what are we going to do? And then 3 hours earlier, what were you doing? So Jay, who is your character, and what have they been doing to kind of look at this alien tech and the way it affects time?
Sure. I'm playing Rochelle Carter. He was a deep cover agent before this mission, before joining the Terran Mandate. He's got a criminal background, and he's also an expert hacker. I think what I feel like is maybe he was given a task to look at or research a particular thing about these artifacts, right? But he's still stuck on where that AI go from the first episode, right? Why did it disappear? Right. What was it looking for? Where's it at? So I think he's doing a little bit of both, right? In the research that the ship has, the data that the ship has, do these artifacts show up in any of the other AI's case file that we have in that data, right?
Right.
Is there any indirect or direct evidence in that data set over there? Yeah, I think that's what he's doing, is trying to cross-reference. Did that AI experience any of these artifacts?
Cool. Interesting. Yeah. Yeah. Let me think about that. Yeah. I like that. Nice. We might roll some dice on that. That's an interesting thing.
Nice. I like when we roll dice.
Yeah. It's fun. It's fun.
I know, because the dice hate me.
You know, I ran a game with Sean last night, and I've seen Sean go both ways on this. Where, I mean, I've seen him like within the normal median of odds, but I've seen him hit where he, like, the lowest thing he can roll all night is a 9 on 2d6, and I've seen him where he just can't get above a 6. And I think as a GM, it's kind of easier when the players just keep failing in a weird way. It's hard. Both of them are really hard. But the game, and with Roll20, it's super easy. You can look back. And like for that game, it was a Project Perseus game, which is an amazing game. And I looked back at the rolls and I was like, an 8 was the lowest roll anyone had all night. Like no one failed. And it just, everything felt super easy. Like there were all of these really dramatic characters and NPCs in the game, and they just didn't feel dramatic because they just couldn't lay a claw on anyone.
Right.
And so it's a weird thing. So anyway, yeah, the dice hate you. I hear you. I hear you, Misha. You want to talk about Abby Duster? Give us a kind of a glimpse into what we would see in her for the third of 3.
Sure. So Abby is a very much a diplomat. She did not expect to be the lead diplomat here, so that threw her for a little bit of a loop when the adventure started. But she's settling into it. I think the last time she had to pull some telekinetics to keep from getting shot.
Yeah. With
this weird technology, and so she's got a thingy to study. So she's gonna study that. Try to figure out, okay, well, what does it do? How does it do that? What happens if you do this? What happens if you do that? So there's probably some experimenting on rocks and inanimate objects at the moment, because she's too kind-hearted to experiment on critters.
Yeah. What kind of experiment? Like, tell me about, like, give me a.
I think it's a lot of, okay, like, tweak the settings, fire. What did that do? Okay, take notes. Tweak the settings again. Fire. What did that do? Okay, take notes. So lots of scientific method, like, reiterations of, okay, this is what happened when I did this. When I turned it to 11, it did this.
Awesome. Yeah, cool. Let's have you both roll. Pick a skill that fits. And let's roll some dice and see what you learn before the klaxon sound and things go wild. What skill are you using, Jay? What skill is Ro using?
I think I'm going with notice, maybe.
Okay.
In the context, I'm trying to see, because I'm rusty. I'm trying to see what is notice more awareness, physical awareness. I'm trying to figure out in the research do I notice the thing I'm looking for.
Got it.
That's the track I was on. But I'm happy to change that if you need me to change that. I have program.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm happy with notice. I feel like you have programs, so we know you can do that, right?
Right.
But, like you're using program to try to notice something.
Right.
I can deal with notice. Yeah, make that roll. How about you, Misha? What's Abby using to?
I don't know, I feel like this is either fix, know, or notice.
Yeah,
but possibly more fix than the other two.
Sounds good. Yeah, I'm happy with that.
So there's no modifier. I think all that's good to go. Notice, and I'm gonna go with wisdom over intelligence.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Cool?
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah, not great. Not great. Okay.
But I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, I can even see how this could happen. And I get it. Yeah, let me get both rolls together and then we'll see how they shake out. Cool. Abby, you got more of that's getting more towards a success. I think 10 is like a really good success. We'll do 9 is like is kind of a success with a cost. I dig it. Cool. So Jay, I think the reason why you don't quite get everything about what you're looking into is because of your preconceived notions about AI and looking at them as and we saw this in the first couple episodes where you were kind of ready for them to break and go bad right from the start.
Right. Okay, there you are.
Like what you come away with is that and why
Okay, so it's just Jed that's freezing?
Yeah, I was going to ask.
Thank you.
I'm freezing?
Yeah, a little bit. You're like doing
a
excellent thing.
Hold on.
It's like, is it me? Sometimes it's me. No, this time it's not me. All right.
To a wire.
I tried making a hibiscus tea, and I tried chai spicing it. It did not work. Chai and hibiscus don't really mix.
Ooh. See, I like them both, but I've never tried.
Yeah, I like them both. I was like, that didn't work. We've been trying to recreate the pink drink from Starbucks because those things are bloody expensive, and my kid goes through way too many of them.
Wow.
Yeah, right. And so okay, it's hibiscus and berry and acai, and so we've been like tweaking the recipe.
Right.
And I think we maybe haven't figured out now, or like a recipe that she'll drink, which is close enough.
That's funny.
Can I have a pink drink? Yeah, you could, but
maybe
it's like $4 a pop.
Yeah. No, I'm getting cranky about cappuccinos going through Starbucks. I just want a regular cappuccino. I used to be able. They used to get it right, and then all of a sudden, I'm having to add the extra shot in because they've changed something about how they make it, and so that makes me cranky because the extra shot's not free, right?
Of course.
So I think I'm approaching $4 for a cappuccino.
Yeah, it took me a while to like dial in because I don't drink coffee because coffee is it's too bitter. I have that weird gene where like bitter gets turned to 11. So coffee no. Coffee and beer. Beer is even worse. Especially the stuff my husband drinks. He's an IPA guy. So like hops and bitters.
Gotcha. Yeah.
How much bitter can we make it? But it like so from the South, sweet tea had broken myself of the habit because that's a lot of sugar. So
that is.
The standard Starbucks sweetened tea is 8 pumps of sugar, which is a lot of sugar.
Wow.
So it like took like a good like 3 or 4 weeks. It's like, all right, we're gonna start with 0. Okay, 0's too few. Let's try 1. 1's too few. 2, okay, 2 seems but let's try 3. Nope, 3's too far. So you just like every time. So it took a while, like, okay, this is how I like my tea from Starbucks. And so it's now I have it dialed in.
How are we doing? Am I on now?
Yes, much better.
All right, we'll try it for a little bit and see how it goes. If not, then I'll put up we'll end the broadcast and we'll come back and I'll switch computers. But as for
now everybody knows what our Starbucks orders are, and so if they see us out in the wild, they can order Starbucks for us.
That's right.
This is important. This is very important. It's an important gaming conversation that not everybody is having. Cool.
Bringing you the content you wanted.
Yeah. Ro, I think your experimenting kind of fell short in this sense because you saw that your conclusion was kind of too general, right? It didn't get to. It was basically the AI came into contact with this alien tech and kind of lost their damn minds, but that's what AI do, you know. It was the the sci-fi version of B words be crazy, basically, where it's just you didn't dig deeper where you could have, or maybe where you should have. And then Abby, I think what you find, you were experimenting with like the alien tech that was added, that was kind of jury rigged to a pistol, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what you were finding is that when you shot at inanimate objects and then looked back at your record, the original record for like how the object started, it started with the damage that you did to it.
Huh. Okay.
So, yeah, like what you were finding is that, it's not that you shoot it and then now it's shot and it going forward, it has a bullet in it. It actually like the bullet starts to insert itself down the line, into time. And I think like the height of what you get to do is like, put it into, a really old bit of stone and then take it out and then do research on it and realize that, that bullet, according to any data you can figure out, has been in that stone since the last time there was a big geological move on the planet.
Gotcha.
And so, yeah, that's the way that weapon works, is it just puts the bullet in you back in the timeline. And I think that's about when the klaxon sound and you start getting, it's not reports that it's not reports that like there are ships moving into place, right? And there are these kind of alien spherical weapons platforms moving into space and having space battles. It is notification from your AI that according to the new data downloads that you're getting from other areas of the sector, is that those ships have always been there. Right? And you are in a perspective where you can kind of sort it out because you've cleansed it, right, from your ship's thing, and you are beyond it. But yeah, it's this weird like history is being rewritten like as you watch, and the you know, records are being rewritten and things are starting to shift, but you know it wasn't always there, and you have the records you had from before the scream, you know, about this sector, and you can see the ships like go up to that part, up to that moment where the scream happened and the great human diaspora was kind of cut asunder and everyone was isolated. And you can see that they seem to have trouble moving beyond that. But they are starting to rewrite history, and you know, there is not a ship around this planet, but there are other alien ships in this sector, and the AI had a name. It was a pretty cool name too. It was some kind of scientist. I want to say Curie, maybe.
Yeah, Marie.
Marie, yeah, it was Marie.
Yes,
with a 3 for an E, yeah. And Marie says, you know, we can't be the only ones who are recognizing this, but I don't know how to begin finding other people with the temporal point of view that we have. That this doesn't make much sense to me. And yeah, and I think, like, you know, you've got a couple months until the troop carrier, you know, the battle cruiser comes back,
right,
and kind of picks you up and figures out what to do with this sector, and you give your report. So yeah, I think, you know, aliens with odd temporal radiation are inserting themselves into this sector. What do you do?
I'm trying to think how to yeet a warning into the past so that
Interesting.
Terran mandate knows what's going on now and is ready for it.
Cool.
Now,
right. Yeah, that is cool. That is cool. I like that.
Just trying to figure out how to do that.
Short term, we can tell the other ships how to. What we did, right? All we did was restore backup for our AI, right? So that the AI could have the data it had before this began. Does that make sense? When Marie was corrupted the first time around, right? I had her just restore backup from before this started.
Cool.
We lose everything from that point forward, but she'd had the history, and that was bigger than the day or two we lost, right? So if nothing else, I think Ro would do two things. Maybe on some encrypted channel, as many of folks that we could tell we pass that information on.
Mm-hmm.
And I would also tell some techs, some human techs, to safeguard our backups, get some physical copies of those backups, safeguard them, and put them away, storage, whatever, put a security detail on them or whatever, because we might need them again, and we don't need them to be updated or affected. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And that's just all short-term stuff. I don't know. Yeah, I like this idea of trying to figure out how to insert information in the timeline. I don't know. I got nothing. So wait a minute. The gun you shot, right? The bullet, right? It embedded itself in the rock's history, right?
Yeah.
Backwards, right?
Yes.
Maybe that's the key?
Yes, but how do we... We're the first Terrans to be here for a while.
Right.
So we have to aim it so that it was here before the last Terrans, but not look like kooks. You know, like there's prophecies, and you don't want it to be one of those. Like, you don't want it to be like Nostradamus, like, oh, well, yes, he was accurate, but yeah, he was also kind of vague, and it could have really been any time.
What if we I don't know enough about the ship we're on. I'm assuming there's an engine, there are other big mechanical pieces. Yeah. What if we shoot it into something it shouldn't be in the past, right? Does that make sense? If we could get a message somewhere and someone's working on a big block engine and now this bullet's in there in the past, right? I'm hoping they see it before they put it
so
here.
Maybe like embed some kind of message inside the bullet that we sent into the past so that that could theoretically work, but we're shooting an engine. And I don't know if that's a good idea.
Or something big that it's obvious this thing shouldn't be here. I think the deal is we're trying to make someone see it back there. Who's going to do the right thing with it? And I don't, right? I don't know.
Shit. Yeah.
Was there a Terran or anything from Earth that got set up down here before? Not on the ship, but on the planet that we're near.
Yes. I think there was a there are a couple things. I think yes, there was this planet used to be the home to the Perimeter Agency. Mm-hmm. And so that is the agency that like looks after artificial intelligences and make sure that they're properly braked and that they don't do exactly what they did to this world that is now destroyed and is doomed, is a big doomed mess. They also make sure no one is like using just using technology in shitty ways to make sapience, to take away the freedom of sapient beings. Making sure no one's making, slave clones or some other shitty things that humans get up to. So there's a Perimeter Agency. That's a big one. And then there is also the Preceptor Arctivus, I think we're kind of and there was another one and I'm trying to find it. Hold on. I'll find it.
It's only been Aegean Circle.
It's been a couple months. Hold on. I got it. And there is a spiritual organization also that has links to Old Earth, and they have kind of like community centers that in every city on this planet. And a lot of the and like anywhere where there was like a space elevator or a spaceport, they would have had people there. They would have had, you know, things there too. So yeah, I think there are two big, you know, a couple big ones. The perimeter agency and the I'll have the name of that organization in just a second. My computer is, as you all know, running super slow. Making sector Alice Theta. That'll probably have everything. That's where I put my notes. Yeah, it was like, hold on, let me find this. All this time to name all of these not to be able to find it. I'm sure there's something more aggravating than that. Can't think of what. Cannot think of what. It's here. It's here. Hold on. Hold on. Bum, bum. Yeah. Yep. Cool. The Aegean Circle you've already met.
Mm-hmm.
They were not so nice.
Yeah, they tried to shoot at me.
Yeah,
I was very unhappy about this.
Yeah, it's called Earth's Sacred House.
Wow.
Oh.
I will hold on. I'll get up a. I will get up a. I'll put it into the Roll20. Give me 1 second, and I'll. Boom. Uploading, because we do not live in the sci-fi future. There it is. Earth's Sacred House, Community Aid and Council. We are all refugees far from home.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
And yeah, they've got folks around. There they are. So yeah, did you want to like put some data on a bullet and fire it into a building, or yeah, I don't know.
What? So what are people doing with their dead?
That sounds creepy when you say it like that, but I know what you mean.
Right?
Are they being buried? Are they being cremated? Are they
right?
Yeah,
right.
I think it really depends on the planet. It depends on the planet. Yeah. What are you looking for?
So I'd like a dead body. Maybe we could put a bullet in a bone of a dead body, right? My thought, if it goes back in time, right, and we have the right person, now they have a bullet in their bone while they're alive, right? Somebody does some operation, get the bullet out, but we have to have the right person. That's the hard part, right?
Right.
Oh God, you're gonna like steal a diplomat's body or something. Oh, you're killing me here, man. Oh, you're killing me. Okay.
It can't just be anybody, right?
Yeah, it can't just be some random Joe Schmo. It has to be like somebody important-ish.
Right.
Right. Yeah. Well, I think you've got a. So here's the thing.
Yeah, I'm just like rubbing your forehead, your temples. Like, oh God.
I started my intro with Carter. You know, he's been deep undercover. He's got a criminal background.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So one of the people who was part of the hive mind was Special Agent Suliat, and he was taken onto your ship, and he was having a lot of brain troubles, but you know, he's pretty much stabilized. and he had been alive for, you know, through some psychic anomaly. He had been alive since since this planet went down, you know, decades ago, and had been in kind of a stasis state. So he might know, you know, what body in that building to shoot a bullet into.
Okay, that's less creepy than I thought you were going to go.
Right. He does not invite you to shoot a bullet into him. No, he does not. But he does give you the, you know, he gives you the name and the ID badge of the perimeter agent who was like the planetary chief.
Cool.
Okay.
All right, so I'm trying to turn off like Misha's brain that knows how bullets actually work for a minute. Because otherwise this is like not gonna work. But yeah, we like hollow out part of a bullet, so like small enough to hold a like data chip, and then use that to fire into that cadaver.
Interesting. Cool. Make a fix roll.
Sure, yeah.
No, I don't know. I don't know if I want a fix roll. Okay. I don't think you're under a lot of stress. And like, what interesting thing can happen if you fail? I guess is my question. And I can't think of one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Planetary Chief Nikoyo.
Yeah. So, yeah, if there's no risk in finding this cadaver,
right?
I think you're left with, does this gambit work, right?
Yeah.
And what happens downstream?
Yeah.
Upstream? I don't know which way. What happens in the past, right?
That should
in
be
my brain.
Upstream.
Should it be upstream? Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's upstream.
Because upstream is before it gets to you.
Right.
Yeah.
So what happens to the chief, right? Because my hope is we catch him randomly. I have no idea where this thing. Yeah. Right. Exactly. Right. Right. And then the pain doesn't go away because he's shot. Right. But he's shot from the future.
I gotta aim for an R or like something non-vital.
Like, right.
Not center of mass.
Right.
Like, it hurts, but it doesn't like kill.
Yeah. Right. Well, I mean, we're not there yet. We're like making the bullet and talking about what we're going to do. Right.
Okay,
I think we're going to have to like drop onto the planet and
right.
Do this stuff.
Right.
I love this idea. So here's the other time travel ethical concern.
I know, right?
Right? Do you tell them that their planet is going to be destroyed by an AI so that they can stop it?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it becomes Tenet like real fast. It just becomes like
right.
It becomes like a Tenet. Let's call it the Tenet headache.
Right.
Yeah.
We tried watching that movie and it confused my children so bad.
It was confusing. Yeah. I don't know what I think of it, I'd be honest. But yeah, at least anyway. It was not the inspiration for all this. I mean, the inspiration for all this type of stuff is definitely like just Star Trek Discovery. And I always feel like when Star Trek stuff gets weirder sci-fi, like the more I like it, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And so every game we've played, I've tried to add some weird sci-fi stuff. And yeah, I love this idea that you're gonna drop a bullet into the past, into someone. I just think it's cool as hell. But yeah, I guess what I want to know is what data are you putting on the bullet? Like that's the big ethical question that I think is super damn interesting. Are you putting just here's how to keep your data clean from an alien invasion, or is it like, hey, this is how you save your planet?
Oh, so is this a big conversation happening real time as we're
sure? I mean, I think
okay.
Yeah.
Misha, you
I
cool
am
with that?
totally asking for input because I am not going to try this all by myself.
So I think Carter wants to know if they save their planet, does that cascade into them being able to help us fend off this alien invasion now, right? If they can save their planet, right? Does it make it more likely that this invasion doesn't take place, or they're stronger and they can help where we are in the present? And if that's all true, then Carter's like, tell them.
Right.
Well, I guess it depends on if you believe in the butterfly effect theory of time travel or the branching effect theory of time travel.
Yeah. I mean, I think what you've seen from the alien tech and the way it affects time seems to, and tell me if you think I'm wrong or what. As a matter of fact, one of your texts says this, right? It says, based on the data from the things you two have been doing, Lieutenant Cirola, who's like, a hot jock pilot, right? Like, this is way out of her depth. But she's like, based on the things that you two have been saying, it seems to be more butterfly effect than multi-dimensional effect, right? Like, it doesn't seem like things are branching. It seems like you hit something and then it inserts itself and then affects now.
Right.
Because it's always
been. At least this technology that we're messing with seems to work that way. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess. So yeah, I actually do start searching to see if anything, like looking at the things that I shot, looking to see what, like, because we had that backup that was clean. So I want to like search the current records to see, okay, well, what else happened different around those things that I shot to see, like, okay, how spread is this going?
Yeah. It seems to be pretty localized for this one.
Okay.
But that could just be because it's a rock that you're shooting at or an inanimate object, right? Yeah. You haven't done anything that's really, even putting a bullet into the hull, of this ship might change things because this ship was on the battle cruiser. This orbital satellite was on the battle cruiser. Would they notice, like, oh, there's a bullet?
Right.
From we do know that things that got killed with these things just disappeared from the record too.
Right.
So
when they died, though, right? When they died, when they were killed,
when they were killed. We don't know what happens if you just shoot somebody and they live.
Right. So now we're hoping.
Yeah, well, we're hoping that if you shoot something that's already dead, that when it was alive, it'll feel it.
Right.
Oh, God. We're just gonna do it. You know what? We're just gonna try it.
I'm like, we're already in the cookie jar. Right?
What's the worst that happens?
You might as well grab 2 or 3.
Ooh, cookies. I think I have some.
Awesome. Love it. Let's do this bit where we are going to find the body and put a time travel bullet in it. And then we'll take a short break. Because we've been at it a little over an hour at that point.
And you got to figure out what actually happens when we shoot.
No. I know exactly what happens. I'm just let's see if you make it. So you land in front of that kind of bunker office building, right? I mean, it is the boom, boom, boom.
Mm-hmm.
It is the perimeter agency headquarters for the whole sector, and yeah, it's got, let tools be tools and weapons be weapons, etched in stone, and you've got where the planetary chief Nikoyo's body is, where it was when the bombs hit.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you get into the building again, and it's kind of like this dark, flickering, creepy sci-fi concrete bunker. And Curie calls down and says, three life forms that I can't identify just started moving through the building. I have no idea where they came from.
Oh, are they in our vicinity? Are they moving towards us?
Yes, they're moving in an intercept between you and planetary chief Nikoyo's body.
Is there an alternate route for us?
I'm also noticing that if I look on the logs for your last visit, they were there too. But I know that the only life forms in that building were Special Agent Suliat and the Hive Mind. So they seem to be inserting themselves here.
Let's run.
Sure.
We got to beat them there.
All right. Let's make a roll of some kind. I don't know. Y'all just sprinting? It's just
yeah,
kind of a sprint through a blasted office building?
Yeah, I think so. There's exert. I think that does it, maybe. But yeah, I think it's sprinting through trying to get to that body before those things catch us, or before they get to the body before us.
Yeah,
that's what it feels like. Yeah.
Awesome.
How many of these alien artifact weapons do we have?
I think you just had one.
Just the one, yeah.
Okay, all right.
The one I yanked from the one who tried to shoot me.
Cool. Yeah, let's make an exert roll. Like what, or something. I have no idea.
Yeah, we're not sneaking.
Yeah, not anymore.
You're not anymore.
Sure, Dex makes more sense, I think.
Yeah, that's what I got is exert and Dex. I don't. Yeah, I got nothing else.
It's not the worst roll I've ever had.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I could have done far worse. Yeah.
Cool. So I think you get into you get onto the floor where the planetary chief's office is, and and everything is kind of, there are desks that have been kind of blown into a pile against one wall, and you can see these difficult to comprehend stick figure like bodies of the temporal aliens, and I think when I say stick figure like, I mean that like there's like a blur there, but something in the center is definitely in this time, but the rest of them is existing in a different time. So it's kind of a headache for us to perceive them.
Right.
And so, you know, there's a little bit of like almost vertigo just looking at them. And one of like, yeah, they take cover, you know, they're kind of one of them takes cover and starts like firing some sort of an energy weapon to kind of keep your heads down, and the other two are moving towards the office door. But like you got there at the same time, right? Like they didn't beat you there, they didn't cut you off. You still are able to get there. So it's kind of like you got success with a cost, basically, is what I'm saying.
Right.
That those roles are, and that's where we are. How do you want to deal with that?
I think I hand the gun to Ro, and I turn to like talk to them to see if we can communicate.
Okay. Awesome.
I'm a sucky shot anyway.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't shoot, but
yeah, I can hit an inanimate object. But
cool. What do you say, and how do you say it?
You know, hands up. We're not trying to hurt anything. Kind of like, you know, emotions. We're trying to get help.
Cool. Yeah. It walks out and says, help from what? But it's like sometimes the words you can hear, and sometimes the words are just like something you can remember, and sometimes the words are something that you like. You know, some words in that sentence are things that you think are going to happen and then do. Misha?
Sorry, my cat was making a weird noise.
Yeah, I heard it. I was like, why is Misha making that weird noise? I don't understand. Okay.
I was trying to see, is he trapped in here with me? No, he's outside. Okay. Then somebody else can take care of it. Help protecting the Terrans on the planet.
As you can see them, they're dead.
Not this planet.
Yeah, I think now it like kind of cocks its head at you in a very human gesture, right? And says, Be specific. Who are you helping?
I forget what the planet's name was. Was that the other planet was... These things are affecting the entire sector, yes?
Right, right.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Terrans who have arrived in Sector Alice Theta.
That's all of you.
Yes.
Wow.
That is what you call this cluster, Alice Theta?
Yes.
Hmm. You do not... What will your friend do with that metal insertion device?
We're hoping it will send a message to the... Was it Terran? Not Empire, but...
Mandate?
Mandate, yes, thank you. The Terran Mandate, and they will bring assistance.
You are trying to fight us, outmaneuver us.
I'm disinclined to acquiesce to that request.
Jay, what is Ro doing while all this conversation is going on?
Trying to nonchalantly make my way to the body we're looking for. I forget his name.
Yeah, her name, Nikoyo.
Her name.
Yeah, Planetary Chief Nikoyo. Okay.
Yes. I'm kind of, shuffling through stuff and moving stuff around while it's kind of...
Do you want to make like some kind of stealth roll or something?
Yes, I do have sneak.
Okay.
If that works.
Yeah. Go for it.
I'm trying to get close enough where I can just shoot. I don't have to be on top of it. If I can get on top of it, that's nice. But
yeah,
I wanna. Yeah. Okay, and then I got to jump back in here, and I don't have a modifier. And do you think this is Dex? Do you think this is?
Yeah, it seems like Dex.
Okay. There it goes. Oh.
Cool.
If only I could help in some way.
You get a shot, but I think as soon as you raise your hand, they raise their hands. Right. You know, like they raise their weapons.
Right.
Matter of fact, let's roll initiative.
I'm sorry.
That's fine. Oh, for the love of God, are you serious? It's fine.
All right. So it's high. High goes first, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Bro, you're in the
is that me? Oh,
yeah.
Oh, I got a 1. So yes.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, I do it.
Shoot. Actually, you know what? I don't think it's not.
It's not moving.
Yeah, it's not moving. I think that was the thing. Cool. You shoot, and you all feel things start to happen, and they raise their arms to fire, and you know, there's a moment where you're like, you know, is that the red hot lasers of these weird temporal aliens, energy weapons coming at me from the past and the future and the present. And there is a vertiginous moment where you blink and all of the desks are where they're supposed to be. And there's kind of like a busy office noise coming from all around you. And Planetary Chief Nikoyo is at her office door. And you hear somebody say, like, there's a ship, there's a spaceship parked on 2nd Street. And someone's like, who would land a ship on 2nd Street? And suddenly you're just there. And like, people kind of like, you feel that they have they're trying to figure out how you got there, because you're just like in the middle of the room, right? And Jay, Rose got a smoking gun. And right, because you just fired.
Right.
And I think you hear somebody say, call security. And Nikoyo comes out of the office. Well, no, it wouldn't be Nikoyo, would it? No, it is Nikoyo. And she's old. And within the ID that you saw on her, she was in her 30s and now she's in her 70s. And she tosses you a little plastic bag with a bullet in it. And it, and she says, that was a hell of a way to give a message. And we'll come back there when we're out of the break.
Nice.
That seems to have worked.
We were desperate.
Yeah. And we will be back in just a few minutes, folks. I'm gonna put up the "we will be right back" thing, and then we'll mute our mics because I'm not going to do any kind of video. And we'll be back in 5 to 10 minutes. So we will see you soon on the other side of this strange temporal anomaly.